Hey everyone, Paradox ECG here. I'm Ryan and I'm bringing you guys another Baby Raccoon deck profile. This time I have a lot of changes, so let's get started early. So for starters, we have the standard 3-pound Boko. However, this time I only have 2 Tantans. The reason is I just needed something else to cut, and on top of my list was one of the third Tantans. So unfortunately, there's a little bit less consistency on this part, but that's only if I draw 2 Tantans. And the reason I thought I should cut it down to 2 is because Tantan is not a good card to draw into. You want to draw into Ponpoko, not Tantan. And the reason is because when Ponpoko is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can, next turn, typically your opponent will only have one monster, so they'll only attack Ponpoko. So next turn you just flip Tantan face up and then summon a Valerophon, which I run 2 of. And then you have one monster in the grave so that you can activate Bellerophon's effect. So it's not always best to draw into Tantan because you won't have a monster in the grave if you flip Tantan. So that's why I only use 2 sometimes. It's not a terrible card to draw into, but it's not the best. Then I have 2 Wind Up Kittens and 1 Calantosa. I still love the ratio of 2 kittens and 1 Calantosa. The reason is this can't be normal summoned for its effect, this can. And this can be summoned with Ayers Rock for its effect, this can't. 1 Cerberus, I'm not sure if in my last video I had 1 or 2. I cut it down to 1, again, for consistency issues. And I typically only summon this with Obedience School now. It's not a terrible card to draw into because you can use Countess's effect to discard it. But you don't want to clog, and you never want more than 1 in your hand. Same with Calantosa. And then the 1 Tree Otter. This rounds off the beasts. It's just for making big tokens. And something I have been neglecting to put into my deck that a lot of people still use to this day, that have been using it since the beginning of Raccoons, is 1 Junk Synchron. One reason is because this is a sexy, secret rare French, oh my goodness. But no, because you need to make level 5s faster, and I have a friend that runs 2 Armades, shoutouts to him. For some reason, he runs 2 Junk Synchrons for the 2 Armades. I don't think that's a great idea, but it works for him, and he topped the Puerto Rican regionals. He got, I think, top 16 or top 8 or something, but he did pretty good with 2 Junk Synchrons, and it is terrible to open up with, which is I only want to use 1, but late game it's great to have that card. Then 1 Ryo, 1 Vanity's Fiend, and 1 Barbaros. I still am neglecting to put in Mythic Water Dragon. The reason is because Mythic Water Dragon can't be special summoned when you use Obedience Scold. So, like I mentioned before with opening up with Obedience Scold and Junk Synchron, is that if you open with Junk Synchron and Obedience Scold, it's like opening up with 4 cards, because you can't summon Armades with this, and Armades is the only card, or Naturi Beast is the only level 5 card that you can summon with this. Actually, you can't summon this with this because it's the Dark Monster, but point is, it's the only level 5 beast that's a synchro, and you can't make that with this. So it's like opening up with 4 cards. Same with Mythic Water Dragon, which is why I don't use that anymore. And then for the spells, 3 Obedience Scold, and 3 Ayers Rock. Oops, I got 1 in there. So yeah, that's standard. Every Raccoon deck should have that. And I finally fit in room for 3 upstarts. The deck really lacks consistency sometimes, and you really need to get to your combo pieces fast. 2 MSTs because floodgates are a bitch, and you need to get rid of your lose on turns and skill drains as soon as possible. And when they flip vanities to your Tantan, it's terrible. So you need to get rid of that. Rikeki, Soul Charge, Book of Moon. And for the traps, only 2 Fiendish Chains this time. I cut the 3rd for the 3rd upstart. Two mistakes, standard. Um, Two threatening roar. I still like threatening roar instead of mirror force this format because it's an OTK format and they can MS to your mirror force or trish it or whatever, and you can chain this. This is chainable. Two Curse of Darkness. Okay, I think I had this in the side deck last time. I need to main this card, and I figured that out last time I went to locals because this shuts down a lot of decks or makes it so they don't want to activate spells. It's basically you have to pay 1,000 to activate spells, and once you have your field set up, you just flip this during their standby phase. And it's a really good card to open with, especially if you have two, because they have to pay 2,000. So, like, if they have a scout, they have to pay 2,800 just to activate scout. That's ridiculous, and this is a broken card for this format. And for the 1-ofs, 1 vanities, and 1 solemn warning. And for the extra deck, the standard. Oops. Standard 3 Sandaiyu, obviously. Daigusto Phoenix, Centauria, Downard. I have actually been considering cutting the Daigusto Phoenix for a second Downard because sometimes you'll use up your Sandaiyus and you just need to overlay for damage, and Sandaiyus cannot have as much damage as Downards can. And it's just great to get rid of that. This is a new card that just came out in the recent set, is Tatsunoko. This is basically just to set up your synchro plays sometimes. And it's great to get out, for Star Eater. You can really get out Star Eater with this if you have the King Barbarous in your hand. It's a great card. 1 Unicorn, 1 Herald, Terry Beast, Armades, level 5s, Brachion and Goyo for level 6s, Leo, Star Eater. And to the extra deck, I have 2 Imperial Iron Walls, broken. I think the price shot like crazy for this when Cosmos came out, so this card is really an out to Cosmos. 2 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors, 2 Ceasefires for the third game matchup. Sometimes this deck will stall like crazy and you need to push that extra damage. Or like if you're going against Cleese and they have like 5 monsters, like if you set 2 of these off at once, it's 5,000 damage at least. 2 Trap Stuns, 2 United We Stand. This is our secret Towers Out because this card's broken. I put it in the side deck so that I could main the Curse of Darknesses. I feel like that card is more important at this moment than United We Stand. But United We Stand is a great card and a great out to towers. 2 Dark Holes and 1 MST. Standard, yeah. If you can't run 3 in the main, you should have the 3rd inside. And then 2 Flying Seas. Great out to Burning Abyss and Satellars and a lot of other Xyz decks. So yeah, guys, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let us know what you think of this build and what other decks I should make. At this moment, I know I have at least 3 other decks I can have a deck profile of for you guys. But until then, peace out.